All right, you hear about this? A shakeup at the State Department following that scathing report on the attack in Benghazi where 4 Americans were murdered.
Assistant Secretary of State Eric Boswell and 3 others taking the fall for what investigators called systemic failures.
So who else should pay the price for bungling the response to Benghazi that cost 4 lives? Here to weigh in, Fox News contributor Michelle Malkin. You got a bunch of junior officers who have to get work today. Is that enough?
I don't think so. I think that the head of the Department of State needs to answer some questions after her own head is healed. And I think that obviously it's the President of the United States who made a big grandstand of saying that he was the one that took ultimate responsibility, that still needs to answer some questions here. And there's a lot in this report from the so-called Accountability Review Board that raises far more questions than it answers. Accountability usually implies that you name names, and of course there's still one of these officials who was unceremoniously thrown under the bus, who was not even named.
Yeah.
And then, you know, it sort of makes sense that the officials who were targeted here had to do with embassy security or diplomatic security. But the fact that the diplomatic assistant secretary in charge of North Africa was also thrown under the bus raises all sorts of questions about what decisions he specifically had made. I mean, the report talks about this concept of this systematic culture of husbanding resources, I think was the phrase. In other words, that these people were making decisions about penny pinching and hoarding money that shortchanged the security that led to the deaths of Americans.
That's inexcusable. So Hillary Clinton, it sounds like, is going to, once she heals up after the concussion and the flu, she's going to be doing some testifying on Capitol Hill probably in mid-January. But Michelle, we all know that if this were a Republican administration and this happened on a Republican's watch, immediately afterwards there would have been calls from the mainstream media for the ouster of the Secretary of State, who in this case
is ousting herself.
Wants to be, she said I'm out as soon as the inauguration, but still she wants to be president.
Yeah, that's right. And I would hope that American voters have a long enough memory that this will still be a salient issue should that come to pass in the next 4 years. But again, it still leaves Obama himself off the hook. And the fact that this man was responsible for ordering an entire cadre of people to lie to the nation and to the world, not just about the video, not just about the protest that didn't happen, but about what his particular decisions were and where he was
Michelle,
when this all went down.
We're never going to find that out. I mean, I think we've been saying that for the last couple of months, because we're going to call President Obama to testify about it? I mean, we're not going to find that out. And if Hillary Clinton comes and testifies, I'm not even sure we're going to learn that much more from Hillary Clinton.
Well, I would just urge the Republican watchdogs, who are largely responsible, in addition to conservatives who raise questions about this, and the few people in the media, including those here at Fox News, who kept on this to out the truth. We finally did get the truth here about the video and about the systematic failures, this den of incompetence in the Department of State. Keep pushing, keep demanding those answers, keep shedding light, because cockroaches ultimately cannot hide from it.
Well, it's what we do every day here, and we'll do it in the next year. We won't see you next week, so Happy New Year and Merry Christmas, Michelle.
You bet. Right back at you.
All right.